Okay, class, today's topic is employee counseling. In today's fast-paced corporate world, there is virtually no organization free of stress or has employees who are stress-free. The employees can be stressed, depressed, suffering from too much anxiety arising out of workplace-related issues like managing deadlines, meeting targets, lack of time to fulfill personal and family commitments, and disturbed due to some personal problems. Then there is need to arise a topic of employee counseling. Employee counseling is a psychological technique and that is used in the various forms. The main objective of employee counseling is to support the employees by providing them advice, guidance, suggestions to solve the prevailing problems and improve physical and mental conditions, performance, and which can take many forms. It is conducted with problem-solving approach by supervisors, managers, or consultants. So basically, it is defined as a process which is initiated by the responsible manager or counselor for providing assistance to employees facing problems. It is conducted to listen, understand problems, and provide guidance, advice, and suggest ways to solve them. तो बेसिकली प्रोसेस है जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल मैनेजर के द्वारा इनिशिएट किया जाता है, काउंसलर के द्वारा इनिशिएट किया जाता है. क्यों किया जाता है? ताकि अपने एम्प्लॉइज को जो भी वो प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हैं उन्हें असिस्ट कर सके. बेसिकली इट इज कंडक्टेड, ये क्यों कंडक्ट किया जाता है? टू लिसन. जो एम्प्लॉइज की प्रॉब्लम है उनको सुना जाए, समझा जाए, फिर उनको गाइडेंस प्रोवाइड की जाए, एडवाइसेस प्रोवाइड किए जाए और सजेस्ट किए जाए वे टू सॉल्व दी problems. So it is mainly to provide job related, personal and confidential help to those who are facing the problems. अब इसका इंट्रोडक्शन दिया हुआ थोड़ा सा एम्प्लॉय काउंसलिंग का. The present time is very uncertain. It is very difficult to perform the task as per the requirements in different sphere of life. The personal life is full of struggle and lot of efforts are put to meet the day-to-day need of today individual and the life. Job opportunities are not much. Inflation is very high. Needs and expectations are increasing and tough competition is being faced. Then the situation becomes very difficult for everyone in the present time. Counseling is very old in our society, and with the present situation it has become necessary in different areas. In everyday life, parents counsel their children, doctors counsel their patients, teachers counsel their students, and supervisors counsel their subordinates for better working. Everyone is entrusted to solve the problems and live happily, perform better and get good results so that the life becomes prosperous. For some of the jobs, an individual is in a position to perform and meet the need of self-independent. The some of the needs are not fulfilled because the individual is not a position to understand and perform to lack of ability. He is under pressure due to various reasons. The situation continues and leads to stress, and finally it adversely affects the individual psychology, health, performance, and the personal life. Similarly, the situation prevails in an organization and industry. The situation is very competitive due to globalization and entry of multinational companies in various markets. It is matter of survival, growth, and excellence in the business activities. Every organization is trying its best to give better products, services, and performance so that it can enjoy better position in the. Most of the leading organizations have realized the importance of attracting, training, motivating, and retaining highly skilled and committed employees to get competitive advantage in the markets over their rivals. Employees counseling add another feature in the cap of organization to do so. The importance of counseling due to this is going high day by day. An employee counseling session is a meeting between the supervisor and the employee which may focus on specific incident, a particular aspect of an employee's performance which the supervisor has identified as needing improvement, or the employee's overall performance or conduct. तो basically aim क्या है employee counseling का is to provide help and support to the employees during the difficult times of their life to enable them to face problems and challenges successfully. It is generally conducted as a private face-to-face meeting between the employee and the counselor, where the counselor attempts to understand the employee's problems and give him suggestions. Employees may face problems in their personal or professional life, which may start affecting their performance and workplace behavior. When a person faces some difficulties, his stress level would increase and start having a negative influence on his work performance. Therefore, the need for employees counseling arises. The counselor counsels, guides, and advises the employees at times of need and help the employees to manage his issues effectively. The problems of the employee, if not dealt with at the earliest, may escalate into bigger disciplinary issues. Thus, it is vital to address the behavioral problems and conflicts between the employees as soon as they are detected and control the issues at the very beginning. With the increasing incidence of stress in the modern employee's life, more and more organizations are adopting counseling to retain their best employees and improve quality of their work life. The employees may become frustrated and stressed due to personal or family problems, office politics, deadlines, targets, etc. This reduces their productivity greatly and also affect their team spirit and the overall work environment. Nowadays, organizations have realized the importance of having a motivated and stress-free workforce. Every organization is entrusted to perform better and before other organizations to avail better opportunities. These strategies are prepared to achieve the objectives more effectively and efficiently. For that purpose, every employee is given the task to perform for achieving the pre-decided targets. They try to do their best, and despite of this, they are not in position to achieve the targets. Most of the time on the job, they are under pressure due to unrealistic targets or workload, constant pressures to meet the deadlines, career-related problems, responsibility and accountability, interpersonal conflicts with their peers, superiors, and subordinates, problems in adjusting to the organizational culture, number of the customers to increase and maintain, difficulties faced with new job and technology, fear of poor performance and losing the jobs, etc. For this purpose, the problem of the employee should be looked into and the effort should be there to find out the causes of the problems of employees, and steps should be there for providing help. So it can be done with the help of employee counseling to a good extent if timely actions are taken by the management. So hence counseling is one of the mechanisms used by the management for human resource development, and prevailing situation the importance of employees counseling is increasing. The future role of counseling would be more important too. Hence counseling is the process of helping an individual facing a problem and to regain his lost confidence and self-esteem and put his mind in his job. Life circumstances, personal issues, or conflicts at work can affect an employee's emotional state and have a negative impact on performance. When an otherwise valuable employee starts to behave inconsistently or falls short of expectations, the supervisors can use basic employee counseling technique to resolve the issue without the need of disciplinary actions. Now, done with the definition, now come to the employees counseling characteristics and importance. In past, the success of a company was attributed on traditional factors, and these are becoming less important in present time. The most important factor of success in present time is selection and management of high quality workforce, and it is very critical. So in present time, HR consultants and practitioners are busy in designing and developing new, better and innovative techniques to attract, motivate and retain talented and high quality workforce. One of the new technique is employee counseling. It is gaining popularity. तो main characteristics क्या है इसके? Services afforded to employees. Service is conducted in organization. Focus is on problems faced by employees. Objective of counseling is problem solution. Employee counseling serves all concerned. It is a continuous one. Whenever there's need arise कि हमें counseling की जरूरत है, the management कहीं ना कहीं उसको अपने employees को counsel provide करता है. It is a continuous process. The role of counselor is important in counseling. Half knowledge is a dangerous thing. It is completed through counseling. About the various importance of employee counseling. It provides employees with an atmosphere where they can share and discuss their tensions, conflicts, concerns, and problems with their supervisors. It is a process of helping employees to realize their full potential by making them understand their strengths and weaknesses. Counseling provides employees with the reassurance and courage to face the problem's confidentiality. Realizing emotional tension is an important function of counseling. Release of tension may not solve the entire problem, but it removes the mental blocks to the situation. Counseling session also helps employees to get an opportunity to understand the business environment and set realistic goals for further improvements. It even gives the employer an opportunity to understand the employee's perspective and set manually agreeable goals for future. It can even help the management decide about the need for training and development programs to sharpen the employee's skills and increase their level of confidence on the job. A good counseling session generally helps in winning the trust and faith of the employees. So it provides more autonomy to employees and positively reinforces their desirable behavior and tries to create conditions in which the employee is able to learn from his mistake. That is the importance of counseling. Now there are types of counseling. The first one is performance counseling. If the performance of an employee starts declining at the workplace, the need for the performance counseling arises. The counselor should try to identify the underlying causes behind the employee's poor performance. The reasons could be office stress, unachievable deadlines, problems in interpersonal relations with other employees, etc. After recognizing the problem, the counselor can advise about how to deal with it. Next, disciplinary counseling. This type of counseling, disciplinary counseling. This type of counseling takes place when an employee's behavior falls short of the standards expected. An employee may suddenly start picking up fights, become irritable, be absent from work for long, etc. The counselor should interview the employee and confront him about his behavioral problems. He should try to analyze all the reasons that could be causing the behavioral lapses. An employee may be frustrated because of personal problems. High absenteeism may be due to bullying by co-workers in the office, and the counselor may give tips on how to face the situation and improve the behavior. Next is the personal counseling. Workplace problems are not the only problem that employees face. Personal and family problems also affect their performance. Families and friends are an integral part of any human being's life. Tension in a worker's personal life affects his work performance adversely. Personal problems could include sickness of a family member, marital conflicts, marital conflicts, dysfunctional family life, problem with children, family feuds, etc. The counselor should lend a sympathetic ear to the employee's personal problems and support them in resolving them so that the employee is able to concentrate on his job wholeheartedly. Stress management in the workplace. Working in the modern job environment is very stressful with so many deadlines to meet and targets to achieve. The employees may become anxious and tense due to their high pressure workload. This not only affect their productivity on the job but also their mental health. So it is duty of the organization to take care of the employees' well-being and provide them guidelines for dealing with stress. Bigger organizations may engage experts for providing psychiatric counseling to employees as a part of the employees' welfare programs. Now the next topic is the job changes. Job changes from the perspective of both the employer as well as the employee. The employer changes the job profile of the employees for different regions and the employee changes job for different regions. So mobility of employees from one job to another through transfer, promotion, demotion is the internal mobility, and some other employees leave the organization due to resignation, retirement, and termination is called the external mobility. Taking internal and external together makes job changes. Now, what is the need for job change? Mobility and flexibility in the workforce are necessary to cope with the changing requirement of an organization. The changes emerge out of the change in the structure of the organization, involving job redesign, job regrouping, etc. Rapid change in the technology, fluctuation in volume of the work due to expansion, diversification, etc. Change in the knowledge, skills, and values of the employees. Job changes due to demand of trade union. Objectives क्या है job change के by employer? To maximize employee efficiency, to ensure discipline, to cope with changes in operations, to improve organizational effectiveness, to combat the changes posed by business cycles, and to ensure maintenance of discipline in the organization. And what are the reasons for changing job by the employee? Higher pay. तो कहीं ना कहीं क्यों चेंज करेगा कोई जॉब अपनी एम्प्लॉय? डेफिनेटली उसको हाई पे मिलेगी दूसरी जॉब पे तो उसको शिफ्ट कर जाएगा. Relocation to different geographical area, मान लो वो कहीं और शिफ्ट कर गया तो he will try to find a job in that area ना where he live or she live. Career advancement तो किसी ना सबको कहीं ना कहीं एक ही लेवल पर तो रहनी नहीं है, अपर लेवल भी जाना है. Choosing a less stressful job, escaping an incompetent or negative boss. समटाइम्स हो सकता है किसी का बॉस इनकॉम्पिटिटिव हो, मतलब वो चेंजिंग एनवायरनमेंट को कोप अप नहीं कर पा रहा है. चेंजिंग करियर फोकस, मेंटेनिंग बेटर लाइफ balance due to recognition at the company, and layoff due to duplication of their job resulting from a merger or acquisition, finding more interesting or meaningful job, and when employees feel that his or her skills and abilities didn't fit for the job. Now the last topic of today's class is the transfer, promotion and demotion. Let's start with the transfer first. What is transfer? Transfer is the movement to another job that is previously established through an approved personal requisition, has the same salary, same range, and may involve a salary increase. And the transfer may result in a title change. A transfer requires employees to change the work group, workplace, or unit, and the transfer may be to relocate the employee to a different geographic region. And the promotion is the movement to another job in a higher job classification, result in a title change. There are two types of promotion, namely market promotion, contribution level promotion. Market promotion क्या होता है basically जब when employee assumes another job that has a higher value in the marketplace and has been assigned a higher salary range. And contribution level में होता है कि जब employees assume another job that has been assigned to a higher contribution level and a higher salary range in the job classification system. A promotion is a change of job to a higher level within the organization. अब आते हैं objectives क्या है promotion के. To recognize an employee's skills and knowledge and utilize it to improve the organizational effectiveness. To reward and motivate employees to higher productivity. To develop competitive spirit and inculcate the zeal in the employees to acquire skills, knowledge, etc. To promote employee satisfaction and boost their morale. To build loyalty among the employees towards organization. To promote good human relations. To increase sense of belongingness. To retain skilled and talented people. To attract trained, competent and hard-working people. To impress the other employees that opportunities are available to them too if they also perform well. Now, what are the types of promotions? Horizontal promotion, vertical and dry promotion. Horizontal promotion क्या होता है basically when an employee is shifted in the same category. That is horizontal promotion. A junior clerk promoted to senior clerk is such an example. It is important to note that such promotion may take place when an employee shifts within the same department from one department to other and from one plant to another plant. Second आता है vertical promotion. This is the kind of promotion when an employee is promoted from a lower category to lower category involving increase in status, salary, authority and responsibility. Generally, promotion means the vertical promotion. Now, what is dry promotion? When promotion is made without increase in the salary, that is the dry promotion. For example, कि lower level manager is promoted to a higher level manager without increase in salary or pay. So such promotion is made either there is a resource crunch in the organization, some other employees are more after the status authority than money. Shit यार ये तो bad for you. Let me hold. अब आते हैं advantages of promotion. Present employees, if promoted, can handle the process, products, and problems easily as they are already connected to organization. But new incumbent may take some to adjust him or may not adjust himself at all. The cost of training the insiders for the higher position is nearly negligible, hence no extra training cost. Our employees will give their best as they know the reward of giving good performance is sure. High morale of the employees is achieved. Promotion is the best tool to recognize the loyalty and commitment of the employee towards the organization. It provides opportunities for career development and makes employees happy. Promotions develop competitive spirit among the employees. It gives the satisfaction of continuous unbroken service. It reduces unrest and discontent among the employee. That are the advantages of the promotion. अब आता है separation. Separation means cessation of service with the organization for one or other reason. The employees may be separated from HR payroll due to resignation, discharge or dismissal, suspension and retrenchment, lays off. Next, resignation may be put in voluntarily by the employees on the ground of health, better opportunities elsewhere, or maladjustment with the company policy and officers, and for reason of marriage. And dismissal क्या होता है? Dismissal, which is referred to informally as firing or sacking, is the termination of employment by an employer against the will of the employer. मतलब उसकी चॉइस से नहीं किया जाता, वो एम्प्लॉयर अपनी चॉइसेस को हटा देता है. तो such decision can be taken by the employer for a variety of reason. क्या रीजन हो सकते हैं? Economic downturn to performance related problem on the part of the employee. Being fired has a strong stigma. To be dismissed as opposed to quitting voluntarily is often perceived as being the employee's fault. Finding new employment may often be difficult after being fired, particularly if there is a history of being fired from previous job. If the reason for firing is for some serious infraction or the employee didn't hold the job very long, the job seekers do not mention job that they are fired from their resume. That is the dismissal. Now the last topic is retrenchment. What is retrenchment? Permanent termination for economic reason of the organization is known as retrenchment. It defines retrenchment as termination by the employer of the services of workman for any region. A 3 months notice and writing need to be given to the employees and wages in lieu of such notice. What are the types of retrenchment strategies? Before going to type, what are the reasons for liquidations? Are business becoming unprofitable, obsolescence of product and process, high competition, industry overcapacity, and failure of the strategies. Types में आते हैं दो. Two types are there: turnaround strategies and the divestment strategy. Turnaround strategy means backing out, withdrawing, or retreating from a wrong decision taken earlier in order to reverse the process of decline. And divestment strategy involves the sale and liquidation of portion of that business or major division, profit center, etc. It is usually a restructuring plan and is adopted when a turn around has been attempted but has proved to be unsuccessful and it was ignored. So a divestment strategy may be adopted due to following reasons. A business cannot be integrated within the company. Firm is unable to face competition. Better alternative may be available for investment. And technological upgradation is required if the business is to survive, which company cannot afford. Now ये था आपका retrenchment. Now done with the today's topic. Next would be discussed in your next class. Okay. Bye. Bye class.